Hey guys, Nick here, and welcome to the Omniverse of Nick and part 9 to What If Goku's Heart Virus Turned Him into a Zombie. Before we get started, be sure to smash the like button, subscribe to the Omniverse of Nick, and further acknowledge and support the future of the Omniverse by checking out the Omniverse's homepage and all around the Omniverse to see everything the Omniverse has to offer, as well as commenting future requests and expectations for this year and for the future in the comments section. With all that said, let's get started. We open up with where we left off, getting into Dragon Ball Daima, where we will see how our group, especially in this story, will combat Degasu, Orenzu, and Goma. So let's get started. Goma does his thing and wishes for everyone to turn young. And Gohan turns young. We did not get him in the original timeline because basically after the Buu saga, it was again and pretty much for the future a symbolization of Gohan never getting any character at all. You thought he got screwed at the end of the Cell saga? The end of the Buu saga, solidified it, pretty much. Tournament of Power and Beast Form or not. But that's beside the point. He's present in this story for very obvious reasons. I have to make him part of the story. And it would be really cool to see a teen or kid Gohan with one arm. Like, how awesome would that be? And as for Trunks, he turns into a baby. You know? Pretty much the same thing as in canon, except it's a way different Trunks here. And there's no Goten, so I can't say anything like that. And there's no Goku. You know, you guys have watched the story so far. And Goma and Degasu kidnap Dende from the lookout. And Gohan, Shin or Nahar, and Kibito all go to the lookout and get ready and see Shin's ship and get ready to leave. But Vegeta, Bulma, Kibito, and everybody else get stuck behind while Shin, Nahar, and Gohan go out into space. And there's no Goku power pole or anything like that because Gohan never used the power pole, nor would he even have a need to want to use it. So there's no need for that. So our group, Gohan, Glorio, and Shin. And they all go, and they are stopped by the big fish spiky password thing, and they go to the first demon world and everything like that. And Gohan and everybody else fight off, hide, and explore that demon world as everybody did in canon. Eventually, they come across the shop with the fusion bugs and the healing bugs, the bug lady. You guys know the story. And Pansy, they meet Pansy, and Gohan fights off the people who are trying to attack her and everything. And she still has distrust of the group, Goku or not. You know, it's Pansy, you know? And meanwhile, Goma is trying to nurture and take care of Dende so he can make them Dragon Balls and so on. Stupid plan, if you ask me. It would have been better to keep him an adult. But, you know, story is story, and there's no point in changing that part in any way, shape, or form. Then they meet King Gadan, Pansy's father, and Gohan takes out all of the guards and the demon people and everything. And then Pansy and Kadan both agree that these people can be trusted. They can all be trusted. And Pansy wants to come along with them. And King Kadan agrees. And then Gohan and Shin get to talking about everything that's been going on. Glorio, their own past, Shin telling them more, and about Pansy and everything like that. And talk more about Goku because, you know, he's not here and everything they've had to go through and how they were lucky to not have dealt with, you know, Majin Buu. And little does Shin realize he left Buu's ball out of the because some stories you can make the argument, and some other what if people have done this. Shin takes the ball to Beerus or, you know, Whis so he can destroy it when he wakes up, but Shin and his laziness as a Kai and the zombie infection going on to Earth, that kind of made him stupid to the point where everybody forgot about Boo's ball, which is still in the rubble and everything of Bobity's ship. That's going to come to be a very interesting, yet not so much threatening in the way of the groups, problem. But you guys will see in the next episode. I'm spoiling that right now. Anyway, Pansy, basically, with all the luggage and everything like that, the ship collapses because of too much stuff. And then we get to learn that Degusu and Arenzu are related to Shin and everything like that. And then Glorio, at night, is talking to Arenzu, which shows that he is with her. And once the Minotaur tries to attack everybody, Gohan and Glorio have a fight. And Glorio, seeing Gohan turn Super Saiyan against him and outclass him, even with all of his lightning tricks, basically a Naruto, Sasuke, and Kakashi wannabe, yeah, Glorio, more than Goku, way more than Goku, was not expecting a one-armed, not so much kid, because he knows he's not a kid, obviously. Glorio knew about the wish. That's why he wished them to be adults again. He did not expect a one-armed person to be fighting this good against him, especially. But yeah, Gohan beats him. And then we see that Hybis is taking Piccolo, Vegeta, Bulma, and Kibito on his ship to go to the Demon World. And Shin releases the collar from Pansy and then reveals his name, Nahar, so I can actually start saying that instead of Shin now. It's basically for you guys who didn't watch Daima. His name was revealed to be Nahar. And for those of you who do know Daima and have watched it, you know the story. It's basically a refresher. That's why I've been swapping names this entire time, just to not confuse you guys so much. But yeah, he reveals his name's Nahar, which honestly is kind of sick, in my opinion. Much more better than Shin. So Nahar the Supreme Kai, that works, but that's just a personal opinion. It's not relevant, my opinion, to the story. Then we get Gohan becoming a Super Saiyan 2 in his kid state with the one arm, against Tamagami 3, and beating him very much so. Like, even more so than his dad, because Gohan's stronger than Goku in the story, even if it's just by a little margin. But that's going to become a huge margin here pretty soon, because the future Gohan, whatever the frick you want to call this better freaking Gohan, yeah, he's going to be getting even stronger. Well, obviously, Saiyan, but you guys have no idea what I mean by that, and you'll soon find out. But yeah, he beats Tamagami 3, and he passes the test that Tamagami does for him. And with Gohan, he'd figure that out before Tamagami even finishes his sentence. Because Gohan, whether it's present, whether it's future, Gohan's smart, you know? It's just the present Gohan was kind of just lazy, dumb, and slack. But again, not relevant to the story. Anyway, yeah, he passes the test before Tamagami even finishes his sentence. And then we see the wizard who actually created Majin Buu and Arenzu looking at something very, very interesting. The ball containing Majin Buu. They're not going to use Majin Ku as a true Majin creation. Those two are going to be backup options. Because, like I said, Shin leaving the ball unattended on Earth, being the zombie infection and him being a very lazy Kai, I'm sorry, Nahar, it's habit, that means that this gave everybody, while everyone was being turned into kids, the perfect advantage to snatch the ball. And if you don't believe me that this would happen, think about this for a second. When Goma and Degusu were replaying footage from the entire Buu saga, Arenzu collecting scraps of Majin Buu to create Do and Ku in the first place means that we're going to be getting Majin Buu regardless, because as long as the ball is on Earth, Arinzu had a chance. But if she would not dare to go to the God of Destruction. And she wouldn't even know where the God of Destruction's place is because of them being on a way downgraded level compared to the God of Destruction. So yeah, the ball-containing Majin Buu, the wizard, and Arinzu are beginning to get the energy needed to resurrect Buu. Now, whether or not that half a gauge would be depleted from what was gained for Majin Buu, or if they would have to start all over, doesn't matter, because Buu's resurrection is nigh. Meanwhile, Vegeta and Piccolo take on the people in the army that they did, and all in time for Majin Buu to be resurrected from his ball. And we see Arinzu and the wizard, who I keep forgetting the name of, working on a backup plan in case this Buu is somehow, not controllable enough, or, isn't enough to get the job that they want done. And Arinzu also states this because, in all likelihood, this is the Kid Buu that was released so long ago by this very wizard who helped Bibbidi, and how it eventually backfired on Bibbidi and Bobbidi. So, what they're about to create, Ku and Do, is the perfect counteraction for if this Buu goes rogue. And Ku and Do are created right whenever Buu's being released. But what comes out of that ball shocks everybody. A fat Buu is released, and without much to worry about since Ku and Do did not fight at all, this fat Buu utterly dominates Tamagami 1. And yeah, this is even more potent than Do. Yeah, Do copied Super Saiyan 3. So what? This Buu still has the potential of the Kai's and his Evo self. So this means Fat Buu would be way more potent than Do. Copy Super Saiyan 3 or not. Buu could copy stuff. He copied the Kamehameha. He copied Instant Transmission, which are kind of more potent than 3, at least at this time. Because until Goku showed off 3 here in Daima, and when Vegeta showed it off, 3 was not that special. Let's face it. Gotenks and Goku or not, yeah, this just all proves to the fact that Fat Buu is way more potent and strong, since he is the OG Majin creation. So he beats Tamagami 1. And with South Supreme Kai and the Grand Supreme Kai within Fat Buu, he wouldn't need Ku's help to be able to complete this question. Yeah, Fat Buu had problems digesting information, both literally and figuratively, but I feel that with the Kai's knowledge, that even if it didn't hinder him to a point where he wouldn't be able to answer the question, that doesn't matter. Ku would help him regardless. And Do would just be sitting there just, enjoying the view or eating some chocolate or some crap. Anyway, the Kraken then swallows their ship, and that whole thing happens. And they are then put in the area of what was the old planet Namek. Namekian Neva says about the Namekian past and talks about it more and everything like that. Then we get Vegeta versus Tamagami 2, which plays out the exact same way, leading to Vegeta going Super Saiyan 3 and beating him. And Degasu and Goma are scared at this point because now they have nothing left. But Goma says not to worry. They still have that giant planet and their whole army. But something needs to be done because he knows that this will not deter that group from still finishing them off. And they're right. The giant planet is just as useless as before, and Goma and Degasu watch as their army is pretty much taken out as well. And we learn the backstory of the Third Eye and Abora, Deborah's father, and what happened to him, all leading to the group looking onwards to all three Majins and then being turned to the main threat. Goma has just gotten the third eye. Will our group in the story deal with Goma the same as before? Or are they so strong to the point where Goma's third eye regeneration and power-ups won't even matter? Or is our group without Goku severely outmanned? Find out next time.